Good evening, this is Carolyn, and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. Doing another Dining Around the World hop challenge tonight. I'm going to do Japan, and it is mochi. I don't know for sure. Mochi. And so it says, Japanese mochi is a rice cake made of multigrain. Some of it's cut off. Short grain rice combined with water, sugar, and cornstarch. It's pounded into a paste and molded into shape. It's typically stuffed with bean paste. It has grown in popularity recently, served frozen like ice cream. To earn your check for this meal, you must complete a girl layout. You must also include a cartoon or animation embellishment. Can be online, but I think that's online, but doesn't have to be any animated character. Any animated character will be accepted. For an extra entry in Japan, use map paper on your layout. So that is what I'm going to do. I don't do very many girl layouts because I don't have any girls. I do have a daughter, but I scrapbook my grandkids, and so I don't do very many girl layouts, but I'm going to do one of me, which is kind of unusual. But if you, excuse me, follow my channel, you know that a friend and I went on a Mediterranean cruise last spring, and one of the stops on our tour there was up around the Florence area, and then we drove to Pisa. And so we saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa and then all of these other buildings that are going to be in this layout. And I did lay this out previously because it's going to be really crowded. If you are not a busy layout person, you are not going to like this one because it is busy. I've got, I made too bad this one isn't the one that has the interactive element, because I did make an interactive element. I will slit my page protector right there, and then when I put this in, I'll feed it in like that, and it will flip open, and there's my little bit of journaling. There's another one of the buildings, and then this is a better picture. I didn't have the people with the blue umbrella. I mean, getting your picture made here is tough, like you're holding it up. And so I put this other little picture of the Leaning Tower of Pisa in there. So that's going to go kind of like that. So I got to get the pictures on here, and then I'll worry about the embellishments. So let's just go ahead and glue this down. While I'm gluing this down, I think the twist is pretty short tonight. So let me go ahead and do the twist while I'm gluing these down. The twist tonight comes from James 4:17. This is the brother of Jesus that is writing this. And it says, if anyone then knows a good thing, and let me start. I can't even read tonight. If anyone then knows the good thing they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. This is not one of those feel-good Bible verses that we all like to read and want to hear devotionals over. This is one of those that is kind of an youch, that hurt kind of thing. This tells me, let's just kind of think about this. James, brother of Jesus, now he's one of these guys that just tells it straight like it is. He doesn't write with a lot of fluff. It is just, here's how it is, and here's what you ought to do. And so sure enough, that's what this particular Bible verse is. And so what he is saying to me is that if I know I ought to do something, if I know something good that I really ought to be doing, and so that's usually like for someone else, then I better be doing it. Because if I don't do it, then it's considered a sin. And I have a little bit of a problem sometimes, because I kind of have a situation where I need to do something for this person a lot. We have this Sweet, sweet, sweet girl at our church. She's like, I think 32 now. But when she was like 26, she had an aneurysm. Her boyfriend just didn't hear from her a day or two, found her laying in the floor of her apartment unconscious, and she had been there a couple of days. So just out of nowhere, she had this aneurysm. Of course, he was gone. Her mom and dad, well, her dad's alive, but he's in Connecticut and he's in very poor health, and they don't communicate much. And she has one sister that is pretty good to her and does a little bit for her here and there, but she just remarried and moved to like Nebraska. So she's not even around anywhere. Her other sibling, and they're all half brother and sisters, like several different dads. And so it's just a sad situation. And so she's on disability, and she has a lot of needs. There are times she has procedures and she needs someone to take her, or she has doctor's appointments, and with this aneurysm, she doesn't always understand everything real well, and so needs people to go with her, and I'm usually that person. There's me and one other person that help her quite a bit. And, life is busy and a lot of family things, and, there are just times when you don't want to do it. You just don't want to do it. But she needs it. She needs that help. And so if I know of something to help someone else that they truly need, and I don't do it, then God considers that a sin, because he tells us to love one another. He tells us that we are our brother's keeper. And so this is a hard one for me. And when I ran across that scripture, I thought, I need that. I just need that. So I hope that it kind of, maybe rattles you or wakes you up to some things too, that maybe we need to look around and see what other people need. Because if the shoe were on the other foot and she saw something I needed, I would want her to help me. And so I think that's just what God expects us to do. So if I think I should do it, I should do it. I can remember my mother saying, if you wonder about it, if you wonder if you shouldn't do it, then you shouldn't do it. Well, I think this is God saying, if you kind of think you should, then you should. Okay, I'm struggling with this little glue bottle here today. I've unstopped it. It's almost empty. And I've poked my pen down in it several times, but it's sure struggling. Okay, so I've got the pictures where I know they need to go. Now, I have this cute little thing that I got from a swap, and it's made by Terry Sendejas, and I don't get to use pink very much, and it's really cute, these pink tickets. And so I want to put that right in under there is what I think I need to do. Let that just come across like that. And then this is a camera and a little film strip that I made for a swap that I wanted. See this, I think that was actually like a sign. This is the entry into the kind of big courtyard area where the Leaning Tower of Pisa is. And then this is a big building. I have it written down somewhere what that building is. Then there's this fountain, and then there's this building, and those are the main buildings in this big courtyard all around there. And so that's kind of what I'm documenting today. It was kind of a gloomy, you can see I'm in one of those little plastic ponchos. I won't say gloomy, it was a little bit misty, but it wasn't bad, and it wasn't cold or any hot, or it was just a little bit of mist in the air. So it didn't really bother our day at all. It never really like broke into a rain or anything, so it wasn't really bad at all. Now, if we had to, it had to be a girl layout. What was the other thing? What did I do with that? Let me see. A girl layout. You must also, an animated or like cartoon or animated character. And then the extra credit, the extra entry, boy, I am struggling on talking today, is to use matte paper. And so I had this little scrap of matte paper. And so I cut this little globe map thing out, and I'm going to tuck it right under there. It was like I had done something and this was already cut away. So I'm just going to tuck that under there where you don't see that, right in under there. And then I cut a tag also out of that matte paper, and then I put Pisa, Italy on it. And I'm going to put that right over here. And then this, I hope this will qualify as my little animated or cartoon or whatever character, because I had a Tweety bird and I had Woody the Woodpecker that I'd gotten in a swap somewhere, but neither one of them worked on this layout. I had to have something. So I'm going to use her, and if I don't get credit for this layout in the game, it's no big deal. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I wanted this layout and I like it, and so it's not going to hurt my feelings one bit. They've got to stick to the rules, and if that doesn't meet the rules, it's fine with me. Okay, so I think this is what it's going to be. So let's just go ahead and get it put down. This, I think I need to get these tickets. I love these tickets. I need to write this down, so when I do my layout share, I'll have pink tickets. Terry Sendejas. How do you spell Sendejas? Cendejas. I had it right. Okay. So let's get a little bit of glue on these, just to kind of get them anchored. Oops, that's upside down. That won't work. I love these. And I had them in my binder. I'm going, when am I going to get to use those? Sometimes I do Valentine layouts, and that's really probably where I figured that I would use them. Okay, now let's get this little piece of matte paper on there. Just kind of peeking out from under there. And then I want to cover this. I had to kind of pull my little viewfinder loose a little bit just to get it where I could make it cover that. Well, I'm telling you, when the glue's all gone out of this, I'm gonna take, sometimes I save these bottles and fill them from the big bottles for when we have scrapping events and things like that, craft events at the church. But I'm gonna take that little nozzle off and soak it really good. All right, let's see if we can get this down over that corner. Yep, there we go. All right, so that's got that on there. I love this paper. I bought this paper when I was doing a bunch of cards for our shut-ins, when we make, depending on how many we have at the time, 12, 15 cards. And I had made one that had this pink and gray cross and some sprigs and things on it that was really pretty, and I love this paper. And but I'd never used it, I don't think, for a layout. Let's see, so we've got that on there. So let's get our tag put down. Just going to anchor it a little for right now, and then I'll do it down some more when I'm sure. And I want to slant it because the tower's slanted, So I want my little tag slanted. Make sure that's, move that down just a little, I think. Well, everybody is getting sick. My best friend is sick. The little girl I was telling you about that I help sometimes, she's sick. Our pastor and his wife are sick. I mean, everybody's got the flu or just that coughing. Some of them are not positive for flu, but just have that horrible coughing. This little viewfinder I had left over from another layout that I made quite a while ago, and it was just in my binder, and I thought, well, that'll work. That'll work. Doesn't need much glue, but every time, I know I'm just poking what's stopping it up down in there, and then I just squeeze it right back to the opening. I gotta get a little glue on this. Don't need much, but a little. Okay. I think I need just a touch up on this corner. There we go. And I just cut those out on my die cut machine with an alpha set. I think I'm getting down off the bottom of the picture here, or the frame. And then I'm going to put her, I made her for a swap. I made these two things. Terry Sendejas made that. Oops, what do we got? Oh, that's just holding her all together. I thought I had something stuck to the back of it. Okay. And I actually got to make a pink layout. That's so much fun. Okay, I have some of this, like these sprigs and things that I had left over from those cards, but I really don't know that I want to put them anywhere. I think this layout is just busy enough. I did put some like in under here just because I had open space, but I think I'm gonna not. I think I will use, I've got these little enamel hearts, so I do think I want to use them. I've got 3 of them, and that's all that there were these 3. So I think I'm going to maybe put one here. And one here. Maybe, or here. That's got 4 up there, so I do kind of want another one up here. Where do we want it? Somewhere up in there. And then I think I want one down here, maybe on the tag with the little girl. Maybe right there. I don't know, we'll see. I probably should put a dot of glue under these. I really don't trust. They're like the thickers kind of thing, and I just really don't trust them. So I nearly always put a dot of glue under enamel dots or anything like that. Okay, I think I'm ready to put a little bit of glue under there and get that glued down. And I don't like that there. What about up here? Kind of bring it down like, let's do that. Let's just stick right up there. There we go. Now my friend and I were supposed to go to Weight Watchers in the morning, and I mean, she is sick. And I worry about her because her husband is he's almost blind and getting pretty feeble, and he's older than she is, and so she's really been having to take care of him, and he can't drive or anything like that. And when she had COVID, she nearly died, not because of COVID, but because she had a urinary tract infection along with it, and sepsis. And I mean, it was bad. I called her and she just wasn't making any sense. And I said, Janie, what are you doing? She said, and she did get out something about Eddie going to the hospital. So I'm like, you should have gone too. So I called the doctor's office and they did a wellness check, and they sent the ambulance and took her to the hospital. So I texted her earlier today and she didn't answer the text, so I called her. Okay, I think that's it. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. We've met the requirements of, we've got a pink layout. We've got map paper. What was it? I keep forgetting what it is. Oh, the little animated thing, and our map stuff. So hopefully we will get credit for this. I thank you for dropping by my channel. I always just appreciate you so much. I know you could be anywhere doing anything, and yet you drop by my channel. So you bless me, and I hope you have a blessed day and be a blessing to someone else.